on your mind. I know a place we can go. Sit back and unwind. Grab a seat, put up your feet, and we'll ask Alma. Ask her anything. She has a certain flair for being tough, but always fair. So if you need someone who cares, ask Alma. Problems big or small, she has the answers to them all. So drop your questions, have them solved by Alma. You can ask her anything. Trouble, ruin, ask Alma. Evil, do it, ask Alma. Time for you it, ask Alma.
Hello, hello, hello. I love it, love it, love it. Love the theme song. Ask me now. How y'all doing? Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. I forgot to test my mic. I got a feeling I'm yelling in everybody's ear, but that's a sign of excitement, I think. We'll see. when the guests come on, they all squinting, then we'll know. Hey now, how y'all doing? Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the show. Yes, welcome to Ask Alma. I'm your host, Alma Gill. Hi, Carol. How are you? Happy birthday to Georgia. Tell her that Ask Alma did a birthday shout out to her, and we are saying hello, Georgia. Happy birthday to you. This is a fantastic day because it's day before Christmas, not day before Christmas, the Tuesday before Christmas, and y'all are here. Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful because I thought y'all would be out like shopping, last minute gifts. Yeah, or maybe that's just me because I have not purchased a gift yet because I just feel a little bit overwhelmed. I just, I'm thinking I might just buy Christmas cards and put money in the cards. And that's about all I can do. I'm sorry. It's been a busy time. It's been a hectic time. I just think that's all I could do. Tracy, hello, hello. How are you, cuz? Tracy's on board with us. DJ, hey, DJ, how you doing? How are you? Tracy did our theme song. DJ, did you hear it? Uh-huh. I love it, love it, love it. I want you guys to know that we have a fantastic show. And the reason it is going to be so fantastic. Hi, Bessie. How are you? Welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I'm thrilled you guys are here. Doug says I should. I know, right? Me too. All I need now is dancers. I think I'm good. Get some backup dancers. Hey, that's all I'm saying. Anyway, we've got a great show lined up for you and great questions, I think. I got a really good question today that I cannot. Oh my gosh, I cannot. But I think I need to hold on to it until next year because next Tuesday we are going to do some flashbacks, talk about some things we've talked about on the show and find out a couple of things that everybody really liked. So actually, I'm going to reach out to a couple of you guys who stick with us every week. I'm so grateful. I want to reach out to you and ask what are some of your Ask Alma favorite moments. That's going to be a lot of fun. So panel, hey, y'all, come on in here. Tell me how you doing. Hi, Dee.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, Keisha.
Okay,
Hi, Kim.
Hey, hi,
I have two things for you, Alma.
Okay.
One, do you have my correct address for the money card?
Girl. Okay. I know it sounds tacky, and I'm really ready to take full responsibility for that. But, it was a time in my life that I could do 5 things at one time. I'm really just not there anymore. I honestly have to say. I'm just not even.
I don't think anybody would be offended at the money card.
I'll come pick mine up. You don't even have to mail it.
You know what, Ken? I ain't trying to talk about nobody. Hi, Jameen. But I heard over the COVID time that there were a couple of pastors who would drive by
Wow.
the house of congregation members to pick up the
get the
tithes.
I can believe that. I can believe that.
They had a basket outside the
Right.
Just
Yeah.
drive
Ding, ding, ding at your door.
Yep. I get them. Door-to-door service.
Door to door. We'll come pick up your tithe.
Wow.
I love it.
Yes, indeed. Ken, Keisha, welcome to the show.
Thank you for
Thanks for
having me.
having me.
You guys are newbies. And Dee and I are so glad you're here. It's so fantastic. We have regulars, like you hear us saying hello to Demi. I got a lot of cousins too. Tracy, all my cousins like tune in. I love them for that. And Mary Lou, my bestest beastie bestie. So, and she is like, talk about having a lot of stuff going on. Let me just say she has a lot of stuff going on. But she cracks me up because she says wherever she is on a Tuesday at 7 o'clock, if it's a television in the room, right?
She's on it.
Can y'all turn on Ask Alma? So we appreciate it. And we are so, so grateful that you guys are joining us. So I know you've seen the show, but I just want to take a minute to say, like, it's very conversational. I get going, Dee Dee gets going. Feel free to get going. And like, we want full honesty when you hear the question. Because we're looking at your face. We can see your facial expressions.
My face don't tell it all. My face don't tell it all immediately, so you already know.
That's right. That is so true. And we love it. We love it.
I don't have a good poker face, so
No.
you will get reactions.
No, none of us. Isn't that great?
Right.
None of us. All of us would be like, with the tilt. What is going on? So we usually hear 3 questions per episode and discuss those questions. It is Ask Alma. I would say, Dee Dee, let's see if you would agree. Ask Alma is like all of us are visiting with each other around the same table.
Right.
Okay.
That's what we're doing.
I would agree.
Yep. Yes,
I would agree.
yes. Just hanging out. And sometimes Dee Dee has a sippy cup, but we never discuss what's in the sippy cup.
Listen, nothing wrong with a little sippy cup.
Oh, listen, a student gave me, I don't know what I did with it, a beautiful cup. And when you first look at it, it just looks like little designs, but it's actually little brown ladies. It's their faces all over. It is when we go to go grab it. It is absolutely beautiful. And I asked him today, I said, "Did you realize that those designs were little brown ladies?" And he said, "Yes, ma'am. I knew they were little brown ladies."
Oh, nice.
So I will be using my sippy cup all break.
I see how Keisha got her sippy cup. No, just kidding.
Mine currently has agua. But
Oh, yes, me too.
Okay.
I got mine.
This is what I had from.
You know, Keisha, if you just tape the tea bag string, just tape it to the outside.
I'm clear. No. It was a long 18 months in the house for COVID.
Right. Yep.
Yes, indeed.
They saw me sipping. No, I'm joking.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Can I see your wife has commented?
She just
Hello,
popped
everyone.
in.
We're stuck in traffic. Hey, girl. Hey.
Yes.
Charlene was on a couple of weeks ago. She was
Last
on the
week, wasn't it?
piano. Was it that week
It was
before last?
Week before last. Yeah.
Week before last. Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, girl. Hey. I'm not even, because y'all heard the conversation when Charlene was on here. I have known her and Kim for a long time. Let's just say that. Keisha, I haven't talked to you for
a long time.
It's been over 10 years.
Oh,
It's been
wow.
over 10 years. And let me just say, dang, what kind of vitamins you taking? You look exactly the same.
It's a miracle. I've had a whole baby since the last time we spoke. Well, she's not a baby
You
anymore.
have. How old is she?
9.
Wow.
Gosh. And how old is your son?
He's 17. He's in the 12th
Oh,
grade.
no, we're not receiving
Okay.
that. But thank you for sharing.
All right.
No, we're not receiving that.
Great.
He was a little boy, like climbing under my desk. Now, but that's like Ken's.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
the same thing, you know, and he's about to be 21 in a few days. So
Oh my
it's just like
gosh.
that.
I'm not even I'm not ready.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
high
no.
school
Yeah.
graduation, let alone 21. I'm not
Yeah.
there.
You-
I'm not ready.
Oh my.
You're never ready, and it really flies when they get
It
in
does.
college. I mean, it's just like because it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. They're there, but they're and that time just flies by, you know.
Mhm.
So, but you know,
You
it's a
go
Yeah.
from
blessing.
freshman orientation to graduation like
That's
overnight.
In a
exactly it.
blink.
I
Like
mean,
what
really.
happened
Blink of
those
an
other
eye.
3 years,
Oh,
right?
look, pray for
Yeah.
us.
We do.
It's
We
true,
will.
pray for us all. But I think it's good though. I mean, and that Keisha, Alma, you say 10 years, and then you guys just reconnect
Mhm.
and pop right in. Keisha, like it was
Yeah.
nothing. Like,
Oh
oh yeah,
yeah.
I'll be on the
Like
show. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
That's
I'm
right. And
still my
Facebook.
buddy. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah,
Mhm.
Facebook
That's
keeps
great.
us in touch. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
With
Well,
a lot of people.
that's
Mhm.
right. That helpful, yeah, because I had that situation, and I hope one of my advisors from college is listening. And we just keep in touch on Facebook. And so he showed
Yes.
up in town, he and his wife, and when he emailed me, but it was just like we had been talking to each other
Yes.
all along, but it was mainly
That's
through
right.
Facebook. And so we met up when he was here, had dinner. But you know, we always keep up on Facebook, and that helps so much.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. It is really nice. And especially through COVID, it was great to still
Yes.
talk to everybody and have
Yeah.
community in that.
That's
It
right.
really meant the world to me. That was when we started Ask Alma
Ah,
during COVID. And
Hmm.
it really
that's a
was
blessing.
a wonderful saving grace for
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
me
a blessing
to
for
get
sure.
together and talk to everybody. It really
No
was.
doubt, without a doubt.
And Keisha, it's your uncle who is a
Yes.
publisher. Yeah,
Howard
yeah.
Jackson, yes, he's the owner and CEO of Real Times Media, and they publish Michigan Chronicle, and the paper
Wow.
in Atlanta, and the paper in Chicago, Defender as well.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
yeah,
Oh
And
okay.
they
wow.
run Ask Alma.
and they
Oh,
run.
that's the most important piece.
That's the
So
most
That's
important
right.
part.
That's right. I am grateful. I am
thank
grateful.
you.
There's Danielle
Hey
and
Danielle. Hey Vosh.
Michelle and Vosh. Hey,
Vosh.
Vosh. Shalom. Vosh says shalom. That's wonderful.
Fancy.
So, you guys, I think we can get started. Although I want to ask one quick question before we get started, and that's why I'm saying it's quick. Have any of you received a gift that you didn't like that came from somebody close to you, your
Hmm.
mom, your spouse, not a sibling, because I think you can easily tell the sibling, and you really didn't like it, like you really didn't like it.
Oh.
Can you tell somebody you don't like it, or should you just keep it and return it, or keep it and re-gift it? So what I want to know, I'm going to go around and ask, are you a keep it and return it or a keep it and regift it? You got one or the other to choose from. Okay?
You
Don't
can't
worry.
just keep it?
You can't, but you
See,
don't like it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You don't like it, so don't.
You
I'm
don't
not
Okay.
I'm not doing either of those things.
you know the teacher got one more question.
Right. Imagine the gift
So-
she's gotten from.
Right, she can't say
Imagine
it.
the type of gift she's gotten.
She can't tell because the kids might know what she's doing.
Exactly.
So it's two choices. You have to figure out. No, we're not keeping it, Bessie. That's not the question.
I thought that's what you said. Okay. I'm
Don't
sorry.
know.
Go ahead.
Nope, you gotta either re-gift it or return
Turn
it.
it. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
see,
one-
here's the thing, though.
Oh, I know what she's about to say.
What if it's somebody like?
Yeah, that person. Yes, that person. I'm not talking about your neighbor. I'm talking about the spouse or your parent. You don't like it?
So,
Okay.
Oh,
Hi, Candy.
Okay.
see,
All right, come on.
you said not somebody. You said not somebody very close to you, not your siblings. You said not your siblings.
I said not your siblings.
No.
Oh,
you
but
have-
somebody close to you.
Yeah. Because if it's your sibling, you just gonna go, hey girl, I don't really like this too much.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah,
just
to be honest
easily
with
will
them.
say it right, and that'll be
To be
it.
honest with that.
So I wanted to. I'm thinking about somebody really, really close to you, like a spouse or parent, and you really don't like this gift. I mean, you don't like it. You don't even want it in the house, and nothing about it that you want to.
You don't want it in the house.
Don't even want it in the house. Like, it's got to go. Because technically, you could give it to,
Yeah, you could.
one of the thrift stores, but that's not an option.
All right. So Keisha's
I feel
bubbling
like-
over here. Keisha's
Okay.
bubbling over. I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
No, because this has
Okay,
happened
Keisha.
to me. This has happened to me, and they're in my house.
And I'm only asking because maybe this is a really good way to say to Gil, because I don't want to seem like I'm ungrateful. I have liked every gift he's ever given me, except one of my last birthday gifts. But anyway, I can't say no more. And I'm saying that because, like, we won't have to argue about it tonight because the whole family here for Christmas. They just got
I was
here.
gonna say, you watching?
And now I have to be careful because my sister just entered into the building. That's Bryn. That's my sister. She just
Listen,
entered
I
the building.
can't wait to hear
Really
Ken.
Hi, Bryn. Hi, Bryn. And Bryn, he's not talking about your gift. That's not the gift we're talking about.
Well,
Great,
Danielle
great
says return it. I would hate to give ugly to someone else.
Well, really, you know what, Danielle? Honestly, the gift, and y'all, okay, I'm going to go ahead and say it. If y'all can give me side eye, give it to me. My husband gave me a diamond bracelet for my birthday.
I think you need to regift that.
Put
Put it in my money card. Put it in my money card.
I'm just saying, I'm not trying to be that girl because y'all know I'm not that girl, but it wasn't the one that I was really wanting. But I love you, honey, and I think that was so sweet of you.
I think I would return something that if I really didn't like it,
jewelry, right?
That my husband gave me. Like
Yes.
Danielle gave me big
We
side.
cool.
I know, girl.
Yes.
No, really.
But it's some other people that I
Yeah.
I don't
See,
know.
regifting is risky because you might regift it to somebody that, like,
Who gave it to you,
or help pick it out. You know, it's like you regift it to an aunt, and she's like, "I was with him when he bought this."
Yeah, you regift to people from work.
You know, right? The stuff you get from work. Yeah.
But the other elephant in the room is that person may be asking about that gift. You know,
Right.
that you either returned or
Right.
regifted.
Yeah.
You risk the chance of them talking about it and it's not in your house anymore. You know.
How about just use repurpose? How about return, regift, or repurpose?
How do you repurpose?
That doesn't mean to.
You know what?
You put a tablecloth over it and pretend it's a table.
Exchange, yes. I do. I am going to exchange it, Vosh. I am.
Yes,
I would
you'll
get
absolutely
something
understand.
that was like supposed to be a tapestry for the kitchen or some kind of cloth thing you're supposed to hang. But you know, I use it as like for
Is
my.
it wrong to sell it on eBay or Amazon Marketplace? No, because I might buy it from Facebook Marketplace. I stay on Facebook Marketplace.
Yes.
You know, the other thing about this bracelet, and I'm gonna leave it alone because I really love my husband. You know, I do. I'm like trying not to make this an issue.
Really about the bracelet.
You know what? You know what I think what happened with this bracelet, and he can give me side eye or let me know that this is what happened. I think the salesperson upped it for him and said like, "Oh no, your wife wants this," because really I wanted something low key. Yeah. And this thing is, So I think it was the salesperson's fault, not my husband, really.
Okay. Well, Alma, I'll just full disclosure. I mean, I bought a necklace one time, and she probably has this necklace on today. But you know, I bought a necklace, and it was not the one or the size she wanted.
Yeah.
And my wife told me that.
Oh,
The next day, I went back and got the one that she wanted, and then some.
Yeah.
And
now,
that worked out very well.
Yeah, I think that can be done. The only reason that I didn't do that, Ken, because this year, what was really special about that day was it started with us walking across the Woodrow Wilson Bridge at 6 a.m. Oh. And he actually gave me a gift like every 2 hours.
Okay.
So he gave me one gift, and I opened that, and that was really. And then like 2 hours later, he was like, I was like, what?
So my guy
was collecting
gifts. My
gifts.
guy was doing his thing. So
yeah,
I mean,
so that was very, very sweet. Yeah,
just
that was
that
very,
one.
very sweet. And it was just that one. Yeah,
Okay,
it was
no,
just
no,
that one.
well, good
And
job.
I couldn't say anything. I know, right?
Nope,
I
that's my
was like,
guy. That's my guy. Yeah,
I was like,
that's
this was a great, great day.
props.
Thinking,
I'm not
okay,
even sure why we having this conversation.
because
Alma, Alma had so many groups.
no. Let me tell you, no. I understand her saying that, and I can understand this conversation that we're having. And I'm gonna wrap it up so we can do the questions. But D, I'm gonna send you a picture of it, and
Okay.
then you gonna say, uh,
Oh.
uh,
Because he does know you very well, and
he
he
does,
rarely
right?
misses. So you're right. It's probably
Rarely.
the salesperson probably said,
I
"No,
think she
Mister, you need
Yeah,
to do this," and then he
yeah,
did that.
yeah. I
But
think that's what
he's
it was.
always happy to fix it. So yeah, you could just take it back and get the one you want.
That's
Yeah,
the
I think
key.
I am.
Fix it.
Hi, Michelle. How are you, girl? And Michelle Jackson is with us tonight. Hugs, hugs, hearts, hearts to you, Tina, and your mom. Okay, guys, y'all ready to get started?
Let's get
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer, right?
Get it in.
Because y'all know I'll like get it going and forget all about it. To let everybody know, we are not psychologists on your choice of your health app. We are really nice people here to offer you common sense advice. Like, we're your friend that you can talk to. We ain't gonna tell everybody your business. That's why we do not give names. We ain't gonna tell your mother-in-law you don't like her. That's not for us to do. But we will try to offer advice to you on how you can tell her whatever is going on.
Okay.
So there's our disclaimer. And I'm excited about question number 1. So here we go.
Hi, Emma. This is Cheryl Peden. Here's question number 1. Hi, Emma. I'm 32. My sister is 10 years younger than me. My dad and I have always been very close. Although my parents have a wonderful life together, sometimes my dad and I take weekends away together because we're more outdoorsy. And my mom and my sister are total glam girls. 3 months ago, my dad and I took a short trip away and went hiking and fishing. It was fun and we had a wonderful time. On the last day during breakfast, he told me that he found out that my sister was not his biological child. He said he didn't want my mom to know that he knew and asked me not to tell her until after he's dead. He isn't sick and has a long life ahead. I don't feel comfortable knowing this information, and I'm torn about whether I should tell my mom or keep my dad's secret. He loves my sister and me and says he just wants my mom to know that he wasn't as naive as she thinks he is. What am I supposed to do with this information? I think the two of them should have a conversation, but I don't want to lose my dad's trust. What is your advice?
Okay, let me just say, because I like to recap the questions. This isn't about if what the mama did and
right.
the daughter. That was not his question.
Right.
I mean, her question about her dad. Her question is, her father told her that he knows, and he wants her to tell the mom after he dies. Um, what should she do? That is that a heavy burden, or should she just honor her father's wishes after he dies?
But he wants her to keep the secret now, right?
Yes.
So he could be alive for another 20 years, and she has to
25,
walk
30
around
years.
knowing that her sibling is. That's
But
messy.
she doesn't know.
He should have never told her that.
He should never have told her. But she doesn't know. She doesn't know for sure. Just what is how does he know?
He knows.
He found out.
He found out.
Right.
But
Like he found out. He totally knows. Yeah. That's
but
what
the
she said
mother
in the
doesn't
email.
know he knows. The mother
That's what I'm
Right.
doesn't know
saying.
he
So if the
knows.
mother doesn't know he knows, then how did he find out? And is it really true? Is there a chance that it really is?
Yes.
Okay.
No. That part, yes. But the other thing that I was wondering now, Keisha, that part, because sometimes I email back and ask a couple of
Okay. You
questions so
there.
we can build up the question. Because sometimes people will send a question and it's like 4 sentences. And I go, okay, well, what about this? Tell me how old you are. How many siblings do you have? Just to
Right.
kind of build the question up a little bit. Because the one thing that I asked her, and she didn't know the answer to this, I said, does your mother know? Because the mother may not know. Maybe she didn't tell her husband because she don't know.
She know.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
she knows because it
She
brings
knows.
about the question if he found out. Yeah, she knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, she knows.
Yeah, yeah. See, I was thinking maybe the mom didn't know.
Nobody knows, but the mama knows.
The mama knows.
The mama always
Mama
knows.
knows.
Yeah,
Mama knows.
Mama
Yeah,
knows.
Or has some reasonable suspicion.
Yeah.
yeah,
She may not know exactly. She may not want to know exactly,
yeah,
but she knows that there were multiple partners, and then a baby came. So
yeah.
well,
she
And
well,
knows.
Zenny, is that Zenny? Zenny, I love that name. If that's your name, Zenny. She says that business is between the father and the mother. Yes, I totally agree with you on that. Now that her dad brought her into this, she should stay out of it. Yes, because he's still alive. It would like
Right.
I would almost be like, um, Daddy, you need to handle this. Like,
yeah,
don't hand this to me.
right. But he
Right.
brought her into it, and
He
that's
did.
where the problem is that he
Right.
Yeah,
actually. I know they were bonding and all that, and he probably needed somebody to talk to, and that's great. But he actually did bring her into the mess. Not saying she just needs to go blurt it out, but
right.
that's something that he put on her, and that's might be hard for her to carry. Depends on the type of person you are. That might be harder for her to carry that
Yes.
way. And what we'll eventually say is secrets or whatever. I think that stuff has a
Right.
tendency to come out. It will
Right.
eventually come out.
Right.
Whether the father, maybe as they go along, he might say something to indicate that he does know by mistake, in talking to the
Right.
mom. Eventually, that's going to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he
It
should
sounded
own up.
like it sounded like in the letter he was saying, I want you to tell your mother so she knows I knew.
Right.
It's
Right.
a
Like,
study.
yeah.
So I want her to
It's a
know.
study.
In the end, I want her to know I knew she didn't fool me. But
Right.
if
Right.
that's how he feels, and he needs to go, he should go to the mother right now and
He should
say,
go.
I know that child's not mine,
Right.
and you didn't fool me.
Right.
I mean, are
Yeah.
they together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She said
So
her
then,
parents are happily married.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. So
So,
so
Yeah.
he just needs to roll over one evening and say, hey,
And I would
Or
take
not.
that
or he
load
could
that
just
he put
ask.
on her. I would take whatever that big load
Yes.
he dropped to her lap and scoop it right back up and drop it right back in his lap. Because
Right.
you can't be the one to carry your ego and your pettiness and your guilt
Right.
and your whatever between you and your wife. Y'all got those vows, and that's the
Right.
mess of what's going on with me and my sister. And I love my
And
sister.
my
And I love
mother.
my
Right.
mama.
Right.
Leave me out of it. Leave me
Yeah.
out of it.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
It's too much. I thought that was a bit much. Vosh said she should ask him what's in the will.
oh,
Who's getting what?
Boss is going there. Boss
Who's
is
getting
going
what?
there.
That is a lot to
Yeah,
give
it's a
to
burden, right?
it
yeah,
is a
yeah,
burden to hand
And
yeah.
she's
over.
young. She said the sister's
Right.
32 and she's 10 years
Yeah.
younger. So she's this 22-year-old. Now she
Mhm.
That's
knows
not
all this thing
cool.
about her mother and her
It's not
father's
cool.
messiness. And she's
Yeah.
supposed to carry that for the rest of her life.
Yeah. It's not cool.
Yeah.
Somebody had asked Betsy, she in the email she said that they are a loving family. Like the parents love her and
Well,
her sister and
yeah, yeah,
everything
yeah.
is great.
Right, right.
Like everything is great until the father said this when they were on their trip together.
No, and it's obvious that they already are kind of split a little bit, even though they're a happy family. With
Right, because she goes
spending
with
the
the
most
dad
time with
and
the
the
daddy
hot
and
and the
I don't know if that's necessarily a split. I mean, we just like different things.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
what I'm
People.
saying, if you're constantly spending, if you even when you are not admitting that maybe there are favorites or that
Okay.
you favor somebody more than somebody else in your
Right.
family is theirs. Obvious.
Like this daughter is mine and that daughter is yours.
Yeah,
Kind of.
and so there's
Yeah.
already an invisible line that's already
Right.
kind of drawn, even if they feel comfortable crossing it. The line is still there, and everybody's
Right.
very clear on that, and that just
right.
adds even more tension between her
Yeah.
and her sister, and that's not fair.
He
No,
needs
it really isn't.
he needs to tell his wife
Yeah.
that he knows and leave his because what happens if he dies? Then the daughter goes to the mom and says, "Oh, I know that we're not really siblings." Then that creates a whole nother mess for them. The
Right.
mother
Yeah.
and daughter relationship will
Mhm.
now be fractured because she.
Right.
How long have you known? Oh, I've known for 40 years.
Right.
Exactly.
Well,
Yes.
like I
Yeah.
said,
Yeah.
Dad
Yeah.
needs to fix this. She should say nothing,
Mm-hmm.
and
I
Dad
agree.
needs to fix it.
Yeah. So Zenny says if he didn't say anything all this time, he just needs to continue to put the pipe down.
Right there, right.
Oh wait!
Yeah.
You know what? You know, see, I'm a little bit slow.
You just
I was
figured it
thinking,
out. You just figured it out. I was sitting here waiting. Alma was like, wait a minute.
That's not what that says.
I was okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, we
You
go.
need
Now,
to
y'all know I'm a little
pipe
bit
down,
slow.
not put the pipe down.
Right, sorry. I messed that all up.
You've been working a little too hard, Alma.
We
A
love
Yes.
little too hard. Too long hours.
You are right, Bella. She is our VVR for tonight. Thank you, Cheryl. But yeah, like he should handle it or not.
Right.
Say
Well,
something or not.
well, he said it to hurt the mom after he's gone. The mom will have to live with it. She's already living with it, so
Yeah. So like, yeah.
it will
And you know,
fracture her relationships, but not his, because he'll be gone.
he'll be dead. Because you know what? That's the other thing. Death is final. So I experienced this when my mom passed away, when my dad passed away, when my sister passed away. I did have different people come to me and tell me certain things that I could not have a conversation with them about because
Right. You
it was
could've lived
nothing
it
like
out.
this. Right. It wasn't anything close to like
Right.
extra children or anything like that, but just little things. And sometimes I thought, why are you telling me that?
Right.
Like, what is it? What do you want me to do with this? Because most of the time, I say in all three instances, it was an issue that the person had with each one of them. An issue that the person had with my dad, an issue that a person had with my mom, an issue that a person had with my sister. Why are you telling me? You
Right.
should have told them when they were
Yeah.
alive.
Well,
Because
that's the exact great point. We sometimes want to deal with stuff after it's final, like you said,
yes,
and it's kind of like you doing all this because maybe that'll make it okay. But sometimes we need to address, address what it is now
yes,
and come to some peace with it with people,
exactly.
even though it may be hard. But don't
Right.
wait till it's final, till it's over, and like you said, compile it on you now.
Yeah.
What? How does that help?
Because I don't
Yeah.
have I don't have the
There's
answer
that.
that my sister may have had for you.
That's right.
Like
That's right.
if you're looking for me to say, oh, she probably would have forgiven you for that.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
You have no clue.
And I'm not going to tell you
That's
that.
right. That's right.
Right.
I'm not going to tell you that.
Yeah.
Betsy says
my
it's
mom.
cowardly.
I lost my mom when I was in the 10th grade, and I found that as I've gotten older, people they want me to hold all their feelings about her.
Right.
Yes, they do.
You know, and now that especially now that I'm an adult and I'm, married and got my own kids, and now they see me and now I look like her and I,
Yes.
kind of have her energy. And so people and they don't realize they're doing it, but they want to come to me and like I just said, they want all that, Cynthia, all that. They just want me to hold it.
Put it right. Yeah.
And I'm like,
it's too much.
So
I
we have
don't
a
want it.
right.
You're right. No.
We have a comment that says usually these things come to light during medical emergencies where a child or
Mhm.
sibling has to make a donation or a transfusion, and they're like, "Wait a minute, your
Yeah.
blood doesn't match."
Yeah.
Well,
But still the discussion after he dies is
It's-
that's
There's something to be
a
said
whole
to the
nother
phrase
thing.
"take it to the grave." If you, there's some things that you don't need to repeat ever.
Right.
Yeah. That's so true. This was a great conversation about this question, and I think we're all in agreement that it needs to come to light some kind of other way. Like you give it back to your dad. That's our advice to you.
Yes.
We're not telling your dad what he should do, but what you should do is hand it back to him.
It's
Right.
Christmas.
Say-
You can put it in a little bag.
Right.
This is
all yours.
yeah.
All
Pretty.
yours.
Yes. Yeah. This is definitely a return it to the person who gave it.
Return to sender. Right.
Yeah, return the sender and say, I don't want to be a part of this. You handle it whatever way you see fit,
Fit.
but I am backing out of it as if I don't know.
Danielle said, "We gifted."
Back.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'll to return.
Yeah, and I do want to say I don't know her. We had a good exchange. I do want to say to her this is not your fault and really has nothing to
Nothing
do
to
with
do with
you.
you.
Like,
Or the
don't
relationship she has with her sister.
right,
You
or
really
your
shouldn't
mother, or
allow
your
that. Right.
mother's father. Like,
Right.
you really have nothing to do with this.
Right.
No. Yeah.
So I hope you hear that and receive that from
And
us.
not
It's
let it
four
fracture
people,
their relationships. Right.
right? It's four people telling you, no, sweetie, give
Mm.
that back, and
Give
you
it
keep
back.
on keeping on. Yeah.
Especially at 22, she's still trying to figure her life out. She's still
Right.
trying to figure out
Your
what she's doing.
sister, right? Yeah, like no, give it back to your father. Just give it back. Period. Okay. Hey, thank you guys for that. This is great advice. I'm loving it. Told y'all we're around the table. You know what I'm saying? Could be playing space. Do a
Right.
slam. Slam. That's my book. Tell your daddy no.
That's good.
Slam. Yes, the Cheryl, the woman who wrote in is 32 and her sister is
Yeah.
10 years
I was
younger.
wrong.
Her
I had to
sister
mix
is
up.
Yeah.
32. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so why don't we check out question number 2?
Question number 2. Dear Alma, I just started a new job and I love it. I work at the front desk of a real estate firm and I'm looking forward to learning everything and one day getting my own real estate license. Here's my question. The woman who owns the company sometimes brings her toddler daughter to work and would ask me to babysit her during client meetings. I'm not great with kids, and I don't really like having to do it. How can I let her know that I don't think that's a part of my job without losing my job? Because I really, really love the job,
Mm.
just not the babysitting part.
Danielle, HN stands for what? No, just kidding. I think I know what that stands for.
I think if we took a
So,
lesson from our good friend Robin, she would say, let her fall down
oh,
the stairs and she won't ask you anymore.
right. So this to recap her email. This is a small company. The woman owns the company. It doesn't have a lot of people working there, but this woman appreciates that she has the receptionist job because she's totally into real estate now, and at some point wants to get her license and sell houses too. So she's very, very excited about having this new opportunity. But the woman who owns the company sometimes brings in her toddler daughter, and when she's in client meetings she'll ask her to watch the little girl, and she don't really like that too much, but she doesn't know how to tell the owner and her boss, I don't really want to babysit your little girl, without losing her job. uh, so what can she do?
I think she says it in the way that she wrote it. The way that she explained it was very positive. And we all know, when you're trying to give somebody feedback, even though in this case it's not really feedback per se, it's
Hmm.
just do, a compliment sandwich. She talks about how much she loves this job and appreciates it and wants to learn more. And she's learning so much from you, oh wonderful owner, sir, ma'am. I'm just,
Right,
I'm not good with kids.
right,
And she could even spin it and say, I'm nervous because I don't want to be responsible if something happens to her because I know that's not my strength. My
yeah.
strength is these here phones and learning
Right,
learning these real estate licensure
right,
rules. But it's not my
yeah.
strength, and I get nervous
Right.
every time because I'm not. It's not. I'm not good at this, and I'm not comfortable with it. And so I want to keep learning from you. But we come up? Can I help you come up with another solution? I can go through care.com for you while you're in meetings.
Right.
Call
Because
my
it,
cousin because she keep kids, and maybe she
Keisha, that was good.
I
That
was
was
getting ready to
very
say,
good.
I'm gonna call Keisha next time I have
Right. Mm.
That was very good.
I'm not
I
good at
like
it.
that.
Because when you push it back and say, I'm not sure if I can give the care that I know that you need for your baby.
Right.
Yeah.
That should, if she's any kind of mother, will automatically be like, oh well, if you're not comfortable, hold on, let me find somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Because
it
like
may
right
be,
now,
she might
right?
be so, and a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners and leaders are so laser focused that sometimes they don't even realize those little things. It's a little thing to them, but it makes other people uncomfortable because they're
Right.
so up here with all their
Yeah.
thoughts and visions and views and all that stuff. So she might even realize it's a big deal to this girl.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
I
keep
appreciate that because I was on Indeed. I was like, I'm
looking
listening to
for.
Keisha, looking for
Oh,
a new
you're
job.
looking for a new job.
I was like, oh, I'm not watching your kids. So I
Yeah.
really appreciate Keisha's perspective on that because I could see that happening and probably working. I mean, I don't think the woman would say, okay, you're fired. I think she would figure out a way to have somebody else watch her kid.
Hmm. Ken, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I like Keith's assessment of that. The first question I have was, how often is she doing?
Pretty often.
Is it pretty often? Okay, because see, when it comes to every once in a while she pops in and say, hey, stay with so and so, that's one thing. But if it's starting to happen more often as part of the job, I mean, that's uncomfortable for
Yeah, it
everyone.
is.
So,
Yeah.
so there she has to speak up at a certain point, or it's just
Hmm.
gonna get worse as it
Right.
Yeah.
goes. It's not gonna get better. So yeah, I think we can all agree with Keisha on
Right,
this one. That was a
right.
very diplomatic way to do
And Bessie pulled a Robin. I don't know where she at. The phone rang, and I was just
I heard the
I couldn't
elevator
go after
thing.
her and answer the
Can't answer
phone
the
at the
phone and
same
find the
time.
baby. Right.
it. Right?
Also, the young lady needs to know how to stand up for herself. So this is a good opportunity for her to
Might
learn
as
how
well
to
start
Right.
advocate
now.
for herself
Yeah.
And a
before she.
toddler, like if it was a school age child that came in, at the end of school day and had homework or something like that. But a toddler is not a
That's a
That's a
human
lot.
lot of
being that
work.
you
A
cannot focus
lot of
on.
work.
She's not getting any work
Yes,
done
Yeah,
if that
you're
child
not
was
working.
there.
Yeah, your
She's
Right.
not
number one
working.
job is
She's
that
really
child.
babysitting. Right.
Yeah. And it's your boss's child.
Right. So if anything
Like this.
happens
Yeah.
to her, you might lose your job anyway. So let's
Right.
he bangs into a file cabinet and you're unemployed anyhow. So you might as well get it worked out right now.
Uh-huh. But I do like what Charlene said. If she's just starting her business, maybe she doesn't have childcare money
she
right
probably
now, and
doesn't.
she's picking
Yeah.
up her kid and bringing her kid to the office, which is something that you're doing. But you then can't put it on your because
Right.
I do. I have worked for I worked for a company part time one time, a startup, and it is true, Keisha, what you were saying. That woman really thought she could ask me to do everything. And
Mhm.
it was
Right.
like, wait, hold on. There's some parameters, no, that
Yeah.
I should not be doing. But
Mhm.
she was so focused on all this other stuff that she had to
Right.
do. It wasn't, personal. She wasn't just taking it out on me. But
You
hi,
got to set those
Rosie. That's my
boundaries.
sister-in-law. You do. You really do.
Mhm.
And it is true. I do like offering her the advice that you're young and you're just getting started. And this is a good example and experience for you to speak up for yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, don't, I would practice, like Michelle Obama says, you practice stuff. So when you get ready to do it, it comes out very smooth and people understand what
Mhm.
you're saying. But I wouldn't do it off the cuff, but I would like rewind this. Listen to
Uh,
what
This is
Keisha was
Keisha
saying.
said.
get it down pat, because she
Right.
had it
And
to a
you
T. You
practice.
practice that. That's
Right.
right.
You practice that and then you go back in and
Right.
that's what you say. That's our advice to
Yeah.
you.
Yes.
And good luck with that. That's what
Yeah.
between a rock and a hard place,
Yeah.
girl. That really is.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
we'll say
the
a
job
prayer for you.
market is open though, so I mean,
Yeah,
she can also
Yeah.
just like you said, hop on
yeah,
Indeed.
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
If she acts a certain kind of way about
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
apply for the same job somewhere else
Right.
because there's more than one real estate office.
Yep.
Hey, I love that. So positive.
Yes.
Two
Thank
positive
you.
answers. That was fantastic. Does Cheryl act like you so overwhelmed? Breathe hard and go to calls. Our paperwork done. To stress her out by acting stressed. That's funny. It's like, woo, girl, where your
Right.
little girl
Well,
go?
if
No,
that top,
honestly,
Some like crumble up some
yeah, right.
goldfish crumbs on your shirt, and they're like,
If she brings it in enough though, and that toddler's very active, you might end up doing that anyway.
Right.
For
yeah,
real, I mean, because
exactly.
that's a lot.
That's
So
a lot.
that was
But
good.
again, I'm telling you, Keisha got it, girl.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like
oh yeah,
rewind
yeah.
this
Rewind that, play it
on
back.
and play it back on your
Yep,
phone. Even before
yep.
you go tell her, go in the bathroom, look at it one more time.
you should write out the bullet points and think about it ahead of time. Just write it out. And then,
Well, Bella
That's
says if
right.
she has a child, bring her to work and see what happens. Just bring her own child to
Right,
work.
bring yours too. I think that this is a good segue. My producer will be glad that I say this. You guys can watch reruns of Ask Alma. It's up on the Ask Alma Facebook page and the NNPA Facebook page. So just because you don't get a chance to see it on Tuesday night, that's okay. You got Bible study on Tuesday night, that's okay. You can watch us afterwards or the next day or the next day or the next day. All right, y'all. Thank y'all. This is going so well. Let's check out question number 3.
Question number 3. Dear Alma, I am the grandmother of a beautiful and smart 13-year-old girl. I am her father's mother, and he isn't really in her life. Their relationship is another question for another day. I'm just grateful she and I have an amazing relationship and we spend lots of time together. She has confided in me that she hates what she calls her ghetto name. I don't want to repeat it as I don't want to identify her on social media. She is right. It is particularly an unusual name that draws a certain kind of attention. She's been teased at school and she says her teachers treat her differently. She thinks it's because of her name. She has asked me to pay for her to change her name. I am all for it and would do it in a heartbeat, but I have not discussed this with her mother. She wants it to be our secret and tell her mother after it's done. I'm not sure if I can do it without her mother's permission. She loves her mom and doesn't want to hurt her feelings, but she is begging me to do something about it. Here's my question. Should I pay to have my granddaughter's name changed without her mother's permission?
Cheryl, girl, did she read them
She had it. She
questions?
laid
We
it.
all
She had it down.
what?
Hey, Pat Walker.
Hey, Pat.
Hey, Pat
Uh,
Walker. So to recap, the granddaughter has asked the grandmother because she said she has a serious, what she called ghetto name. I could do examples, but I won't. Y'all know what she's talking about. So she wants to know if the grandmother will pay for her to change her name because she's being teased. She's having a hard time at school. And yeah, she's like, I want a name change. So could the grandmother do this without talking to her mother?
no.
Absolutely.
No,
Answer is
no,
no.
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 Definitely no.
So, okay, so what should she do? What should the little girl do? What should grandma do?
I think the two things. One, I think because I see my friends laugh at me because I'm always like, I see both sides of it. I think that two things though should happen. Number one, I'm sure the grandma is doing this, but also I'm wondering if the grandmother has taught her how to kind of just stand firm in who she is and her confidence and kind of speak life into her in general. I know that's difficult when you're in middle school and because kids are terrible. Kids
They are
Oh
terrible.
yeah.
They
but
are.
being able to stand in that and say, because there are a lot of people who hated their name, but then when they became adults, were like, I appreciate the uniqueness.
She
I
won't like
understand.
this one, Keisha.
But but I also think that if it's causing her that much distress and the child
Anxiety.
is a wreck, that grandma needs to just go talk to mom and say,
And
look,
the spelling.
Oh, and I'm sure it's all a
It's
mess.
just,
I'm sure.
yeah.
I work for an institution of higher education, and
Right.
I've
Yeah.
seen them. I've seen them. And every
Right.
time I'm like, child, why did they? What's the heck? Why did they do that to that baby?
Sometimes it's a little bit creative, I will say. But this one is not one of those
Well,
times.
I think it sounds like that the mother must have a good relationship with the grandma because she spends so much time with her.
Yes.
So I think that they could all sit down and have a conversation. I don't mind grandma paying for it, but they have to all sit down. Pat says, "Girl doesn't need a legal name change to change the name she goes by, right, D?" Um, right. But at
Hi,
13,
Alvin.
Hey, Alvin.
like as an educator, I call students by the name that they're given, and if they by their mother or father. Occasionally they'll say, "Can you call me, X or
Yeah.
whatever?" And I don't have a problem doing that. But this sounds like that no matter what she subs it for will not replace what she has and how awful it is for her. So I
Mm,
think that, it can't be a secret and you want this done. Like you can't have it both ways. So I think grandma and mom and daughter could sit down
right.
and have a conversation about it. And hopefully, they could all come to something that is going to work for the child. I know a young lady named Vagina. Vagina.
That might be her cousin.
Wait, wait, spell it again. Spell it again.
Oh, how would
Vagina.
And that's how they're gonna pronounce it, really.
Gina, right. And I knew her as Gina for years and years and years. And then one day, she confided that that was her name. And that's why she never used her whole name. So, sometimes parents can be awful or sometimes they just can't spell,
Right.
you know.
I saw that, Keisha.
So I think
I know.
that
Like, hi, Andrea. Yeah. So the show was like, oh, they call her
they
the
called her
G.
Gina.
God,
Just Gina.
good.
Just Gina.
Yeah.
I think this can be. I think it can be done and it should be done. And like I've heard
The conversation, not the name
the
change.
conversation. Absolutely, the
Yeah.
conversation should happen. Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Ken, what do you think?
Yeah, definitely a family conversation. I don't know at this point how changing the name though. I mean, say you're in school and you're in seventh grade with with your classmates, and
Hmm.
you come back uh, in eighth grade, and suddenly you're telling everybody I'm Tracy, not Gina.
It could happen because don't
Yeah.
you remember, like, what was Muhammad Ali's name? Cassius Clay.
Clapping.
Right.
And
Right.
And
But
then he
but
came
but,
back
but
Muhammad
It
Ali.
may it
right.
may not
Okay.
have the same effect between seventh and eighth grade, but once she goes to
Right.
high school,
Yeah. Like
Yes. High
I
school.
yeah.
went to
So
school. I went to
so
college with a young lady who had to change her name for
right.
reasons we don't have to get into.
Yeah.
Um,
Understood. Okay.
so by the time she switches to a new school, it won't
Yeah.
be the same.
Yeah.
Okay, so but you have to have all that in play. I mean, over
Yes.
time, yes, it's going to help over time. But I'm saying in those first few years, changing it is going to be a tough go either way. Yeah, you can do that, but I think when somebody mentioned middle name, or you talk to your teacher, whatever, and you start kind of getting everybody conditioned to calling you Gina rather than the other name. I mean, some of those things you may not have to drastically change the name. Clearly, the answer is no. We can't do that. But there are other ways that you don't really have to change your name altogether. In the long run, it's going to help. But I think you
Right.
come up with other ways.
On her
Short,
resume.
short.
On her
Yes.
resume, Ken.
Well, again, though, people don't. If I paperwork would be one thing at HR, but if I put on my resume, if my middle name Lane, if I put Lane Washington, that's who you'll know me as when I send in my resume. I
Right.
won't be Kenneth to you. I will be Lane, and that's what you call me. And then when you get to HR, say, oh well, here's his whole name, but you will
That is
know
true.
me.
But
You
but
will
as
know me
adults,
by my middle name.
But as adults, if I say, "Oh, I didn't know your name was Ken," and you say, "Yeah, that's my first name. I use my middle name," we would all go, call you what you want to be called. But as a child,
Yeah.
it
But
wouldn't
they
work
get
that way.
but they get conditioned. My point is, you get conditioned to call people what they
They
give
want to, yeah,
and
right.
that's the point for me is Gina, nobody knows her name is they know her name is They know her name is they know her as Gina, and that's what and once you get your classmates calling you that, then you're in a much better spot. But no doubt the whole name will come
But I
out
wonder if
eventually.
this is more about how she feels about herself, not how other
Yeah,
people
yeah.
see her.
Yeah.
No, that's all in the
Must be,
self-esteem part
yeah,
of it. That's a hard thing now
yeah.
with
Middle
social
school
media,
Right.
girl,
And
middle
right?
school
social,
social
right.
media. As we
Social
said,
media is tough.
yeah, all of us are accustomed to talking about higher education now. Keisha and myself, we've seen it, we know it, and it's happening, and
Right.
all kinds of stuff beyond the name, all kinds of things are
Yeah.
happening. So you have to really work on everyone's self-esteem, name or not. I mean,
Yeah. And Alvin says he came in late. Hey Andrea, how are you? I want to say hi to my one of my best friends, Andrea. How are you, girl? North Carolina.
Did you read
So
the
Al,
woman named Urine?
yes, I
I
do
know a
want
urine.
to.
She told me it's
So,
pronounced
but
Urini.
wait, urine or urine?
Urini.
To a knee.
Urini.
Urine. Two
She said
E's.
I told her her mother misspelled.
That
Mary
this
Lou.
is child abuse. Why would you do that to the baby?
Brent says sometimes as kids
So
we didn't know our friend's real name until high school graduation. Yeah, that's
you know
true.
what? And still don't, because sometimes on Facebook, and I don't mean to say this lightly, but I have gotten a call or a text that said, "Oh, girl, did you know,
John
Maurice
Smith, right?
Smith passed away?" I go, "Who is
Who's
that?"
that?
I don't even know who that is. "Oh, you know, Shoe Shine." Oh, girl.
No
It's
me.
like I never even
No me.
knew his
Please
name.
live around the corner. You know
Right.
no me.
You know that'll be. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
And all
Because
the siblings
I
have
never
names too.
know.
John John's little brother.
Yeah.
Spooky sister,
We actually, we
Pumpkin's
actually,
cousin.
we actually had that happen with a family member about a year ago. There was a family member who was ill, and so other family members were calling saying, you might want to see if you could reach out and help. I was like, who?
Oops.
Two adult people. I never knew my cousin's real name. I was like, oh, is that his name? So his name is not so and so, and I was getting side eye, but we never called him
Right.
by his
His
name.
name.
How would I know?
yeah, it's all about
Sean,
what people get
Sean,
accustomed to
Sean
calling
has.
you. Yeah.
Sean says,
Exactly.
"Well, I think there's no rule in the world that states that names once given can't be changed. If the child is not comfortable with their name, then make amends and change it. I agree
I
with Dee.
agree.
Her mom and grandmother need to have a discussion beforehand.
Yeah. Can't
Yeah,
go with my
yeah,
mama.
Yeah, it's not like
yeah.
buying a coat. You can't. You better
Yeah,
not
yeah, no,
show up
you
with.
can't just. Yeah, no.
And if you're a grandmother like I'm a grandmother, we ready to handle this baby. Because
You
if
ready to
it is
just
giving
fix it.
if it's giving you this much anxiety, we need to
We
switch it
need
to
to.
the middle
And
name or
I'm sure
something.
this didn't just start. She's probably just feeling, empowered
Yeah,
to talk about it at
yeah,
13. She's
Yeah,
probably hated
yeah,
it since day one.
yeah.
And
right.
teachers are gonna call you by whatever name is on the paper. So she's
Yeah,
probably heard
yeah,
it out loud in stereo for the last, 8 years, and now she wants to do something about it.
And to be
yeah.
honest, if she's in an environment, especially if she's in an environment where she's one of the only people of color, her teachers
Right.
see her differently.
Yes.
Somebody who went to a white middle school and high school, just being my maiden name is Jackson. Like you, that's please. Yes,
Like,
Keisha Jackson. And I love my name. I love being a Jackson, but people
right.
treat you different. They
It's
treat
a woman who is a good friend of mine at work, white woman. We were laughing and talking on Monday, yesterday, and we were talking about names, but it had something to do with different, like how if you get a pass, it has to have your real name on it. Like if you got a press pass or whatever,
Mhm.
it can't be the name that you. And so she said her name was Wendy Williams. I was like, Wendy. She said, I don't want to have this conversation with you now. Girl, first of all, your name is Wendy Williams and you're a white woman?
Right.
Oh my gosh. And then she told me like different things that have happened to her, which were funny and some not so funny, but like in Starbucks saying it, and then people were waiting for
Right.
the real one
We're
to
looking
walk in
around.
and stuff like that. So she said, "Yeah, that's why I know." It's like that is so funny, and I think we had some kind of question a couple of weeks ago with names. Bessie, remember we were talking? I think Bessie commented that the guy's name was William Williamson. Or then like
No,
the other guy's name was John Johnson.
Johnson.
Like, come on now.
Why you do that to your children? Well, I work with a
Exactly.
George Lopez. I work with a George Lopez who happens to
Oh,
be
right.
Hispanic. So
The
when he
comedian.
introduces himself, he goes, "Hi, Mr. Lopez," and he says, "My name's George." No, like he's not
Right?
having this
No,
conversation.
we're not
We're not
doing
having
that.
this conversation.
Exactly. So we want to tell the grandmother to have a conversation with the mom. Like
Yes.
I know your grandbaby tells you something, you want to do it immediately. Trust me, I'm right there with you. But no, you have to have a conversation with her parents, and then you guys make a decision based on what is best for her. That's our
Right.
advice to you. Not like don't get in your feelings. Tell mama don't be all in her feelings. It is what is best for this teenage girl who I am quite proud of, quite frankly,
Mm-hmm.
that she figured out how to come to somebody and ask for help.
Right.
That's another thing we want to say before we wrap up the show. If anything is going on with you in your life and you feel all by yourself, ask somebody. It's somebody that you trust a little bit. Call that person, and they will remind you that you are important and we need you here. Thank you guys. Oh my gosh. What a show. What a show. Ken and Keisha. This was really fantastic. I love hanging out with y'all. This was
Yeah.
fun. It was a
I mean,
lot of
we gotta do lunch again for real. We gotta. I'm
Yes,
gonna come downtown to meet you downtown for lunch one day.
for real, because like your 18-year-old has knocked me
He's
out.
not 18
He's
yet.
17. 17.
17.
But he's
Give me
gonna
my 6 months. He can't
I'll
be
be
17.
17 in
be
6 months.
18.
Give me my 6 months.
We take all we can get.
That's right. That's right. Thank you. I appreciate you taking time to hang out with D and me because Ken and Keisha, it's holiday time. It is like
Indeed, it is.
happy holidays to everybody. I
Right.
know how busy everybody is. So, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, all of that. And Dee and I are grateful, grateful,
Yes.
grateful that you
Thank
guys
you.
took the time. Everybody in the chat, I'm telling you, I got so much love for y'all. So, be safe over the holiday season.
Yes.
I'm gonna have Ava in the kitchen with me making cookies, so I'll tell you all about that next week. We'll talk about how that went. Because unlike her other grandmother who has a real mixer, I don't. We're gonna cut them little cookies out and lay them
Oh,
on.
I'm about to say, I remember about you in that kitchen, Alma.
Yeah, no, that's not my thing. It's not my thing.
You still have the gadgets for it. That's what's
I got the gadgets, but no, it ain't my thing.
Just
So
make sure.
everybody, that's right. Be safe, and we're sending y'all a lot of love. Thank you for watching tonight. Bye bye.
all right. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas, guys.
You as well.
Yes,
Alrighty.
yes. Right back at you.